Welcome, guys, to this workshop. We're going to talk about helping our forgetful learners and sharing really practical tips about how we can not only encourage our kids who maybe struggle with memorizing their multiplication facts or who are constantly losing all of their supplies. We're going to be able to talk through those practical strategies, but not only on what you can do to help your kids, but also how we can equip them for the future. Before we can do that, though, we need to look at the brain. I'm not going to get super scientific here, but essentially the way the brain works is that it creates connections all throughout. And so we are wanting to really strengthen those neural pathways as we connect information to each other for our children. This is going to help us and help them be able to make things stick. And we're going to talk more about the special kinds of different types of glue or strategies that you can use to help that stick in their minds. When my dad would talk about memory and talking about remembering things with kids, he would always use the analogy of hooks. And he would say, as parents, our job is to create meaningful hooks that our kids can hang future information on. This is something that as homeschool parents, we get the privilege of doing when we're taking a totally new concept that our children has never been introduced to before, and we're giving that information to them as that'll continue to build on in the future. It can feel a little intimidating, though, when we can't make those natural connections. And so I wanted to share with you guys a few strategies of what you can do as you're building hooks with new information. One of those things is to use visual aids. This is hugely helpful, and there's lots of versions of how you could do this based on your child and their age, but we love to use YouTube videos. So if we are reading a read aloud and we're talking about, the old sawmill, maybe they don't have any context for that. So we're going to look up a YouTube video on that. Or we're going to look up YouTube videos on a science experiment so they can see it hands-on. We also love to use the Kate Snow books, multiplication facts that stick, addition facts that stick, subtraction facts that stick. We oftentimes, as parents, think of using a lot of hands-on manipulatives with our younger learners, and we forget that sometimes in those older concepts, our kids can also use those helpful visuals. They may struggle with their multiplication facts, but when they have a way that they can see that visually and understand it, it can help connect those dots and form stronger pathways. I also have really enjoyed creating a series of visuals to help my kids when it comes to memorizing God's word. So I have made, and I have them up on my website. Wendy will drop a link for you guys in the chat, but I have totally free the Lord's Prayer, 10 Commandments, different Bible verses, prayer sheets for the persecuted church, all that have visuals to go along with them. Just having those little prompts can be everything you need for your kids to be able to get those things to stick.
The contributors at Made to Homeschool just want to serve you and bless you and encourage you in your homeschool journey. So we have these little clips available for you on YouTube, but really you could see the full thing if you just joined the premium membership. That link is in the description below. We would love to see you there. But until then, here is another clip from one of our workshops that you might be interested in. Make sure to subscribe.